Hey guys, I want to do a quick video on teaching, and I want to talk about the two extremes of teaching. And I find that the vast majority of today's teachers unfortunately fall into one of those extremes, and a lot of us can improve by seeing where we are in those extremes. So you have, on the one hand, you have people that believe in talent and genius and honors classes and that kind of thing. That's one extreme. And on the other hand, you believe in pure hard work. It's all about hard work. Now, that's not a bad thing. So where can they go awry? So um, if you believe in hard work, that can sometimes come with conditional love. So in the sense that if you stop working hard, then you are no longer worthy, or the second you take a break or relax, that you're not a good person. So growing up, I had a teacher who was I had a music teacher who was fantastic in many ways, and she definitely had a lot of positivity and encouragement. But she would also say, what a brilliant kid, what a genius, blah blah blah. Now that actually hurt me because I would think like I don't need to practice that much because I just get things quickly. So inevitably you reach a point, and this has been studied and documented, the fixed versus growth mindset, that you reach a point where things become difficult. So if things become difficult and you're not practicing that much, you start to think, well, I must not be that talented. I'm pretty talented, but this is my natural ceiling. So that's a very limiting mindset. So whether, not just for people that are not in the honors classes, but even for the kids that you think should be in the honors classes, or like the talented genius kids, the whole notion of talent and genius, all of that is BS. So if kids are doing well, you can give them that positive encouragement and just say, like, this, you've done a great job and you put a lot of effort in it. You're sounding really great, or you're doing great in math class or English class, whatever. On the other hand, right, you have the hard work, and so you want to be putting in hard work, smart work, but that needs to be there needs to be a background of that positive encouragement from the other extreme, so that you're, even like you have a bad day or you didn't put in as much work, maybe you practice for an hour instead of 5 hours or 3 hours, the student feels like the teacher still supports them and encourages them, and their self-worth as a human is not tied to the amount of work they're doing. The amount of work is going to help them get to increased levels of ability, but for them to even want to engage in that process, they have to feel a level of encouragement. So in reality, both these extremes have something to give, but just like a cold hard work attitude without like the kind of the gratitude aspect of like, well, I have come a certain amount, and it's not perfect, but I'm going to put in more hard work, and it's still pretty good, and I'll do better, and nobody's perfect. And on the other hand, you don't want to have just pure like, oh, this kid is so talented and genius, without like, hey, you got to put in some work. You're talented because you've put in work thus far, and maybe you forgot about that, or you had some advantages from like family members who were professors or something, or some extra resources or tutoring, whatever. So what's kind of the way that I see things optimally is you're putting in a lot of work with a background of gratitude and encouragement from the teacher or whatever your community is. So we don't want to be that, like, I come from a Russian background. A lot of, I don't want to stereotype cultures, but a lot of, let's say, in Russian or Asian cultures, there's definitely this work ethic and like work, but it has to come with and there's exceptions, but like these are just some trends, right? But it has to come also with the encouragement, and that you're still valuable even if like you're not putting in as much work, or encourage the student to put in work, not just kind of this draconian system. But at the same time, in kind of like the Western world, there's like this, we have this innovative kind of like Wild West mindset of like, this kid is just a genius and a prodigy, and that doesn't always lead to students knowing how to put in that work ethic. So you want to develop the work ethic, but you also want that sense of encouragement and inspiration and all of that positivity. So that's my little video for today. Hope you guys enjoy it, and I will hopefully be posting more things soon.